Yes, another beautiful day it is, and I'm super happy to be here with you today again on another episode of The Charge. My name is Kayo, as you all know, and thank you again for tuning in. It's so wonderful to know that you tune in today, and I'm so confident that you're going to be richly empowered and blessed on today's episode. And today is going to be a continuation of what I was talking about earlier about starting and taking the next step, about taking action on those plans that you have, all of the ideas that you have. Even if you are afraid to take that next step, there is so much power in taking the next step. And just to be able to explore and to show you why it's important and to show you the other dimensions of why it is important to take that next step, I'm going to be sharing wisdom. I'm going to be sharing the wisdom from all of these important and great men that have shared on the importance of starting. And this one from the popular Zig Ziglar. He said something. He said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. This is for people that are saying that, man, I have to have a perfect plan. Everything has to be on ground. Guess what? By the time you start, time has already gone. And that's what Zig Ziglar is saying here, that you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. If you look at the story of people that have had to do great things, they had to start from small things. So that's how life works. You've got to be able to start from the little of the littlest things, if that English is correct anyways, right? You've got to be able to start from the most simple things of life. You've got to be able to start from where you are. Whether you think you're in a big place or in a small place, you've just got to be able to start from where you are. And I have a message for someone today who you feel like your life has been broken into pieces and it feels like you can't pick up anything again. Trust me, you can always pack up the scraps and join together. Yes, and that's my encouragement to someone out there today. You feel like you've been through a lot and you've encountered several disappointments, several heartbreaks, several things that have shattered your heart and mind. Trust me, you can always pick up the scraps. You can always pick from the pieces of the scraps and begin to piece them together. You just has to take a willingness from in the inside of you. And that's why I'm coming here to tell you that today, let there be a willingness in you. Let there be a strong desire in you. Let there be a new courage in you. Let there be something inside of you that just wants to say, yes, I can do it. I can make it. And all I have to do is to pick up the scraps again and try this one more time. I know you're saying that, but I've tried and tried. Okay, maybe this time around, you're going to try it different. You're going to try it differently. Try differently this time. You've got to just take up the boldness and the courage. So I'm really wishing and I'm really praying for you courage. I'm really praying for you that you'll have enough courage to pick up the scraps and rebuild again. Whatever felt like was stolen from you, whatever felt like was broken in you, I'm really hoping that you'll have this desire in you. I'm really hoping that my words will resonate with you, that you're going to find the passion, the vibrancy, the courage to say, yes, while some things may look broken, I can still pick up the scraps and do great things with my life. And that's one of the highlights for me today, that someone will look into their life right now and look into their circumstances and say, yes, it doesn't matter what happened. I have a huge debt to settle. It still doesn't mean that I can't do great things with my life. I just have to be able to pick up the scraps and find the courage and move on. And this time when you do it, or another person right now that you're saying that, but I've tried and tried, this thing just seem not to be working. Maybe this time around you've got to re-strategize again. Maybe this time around you do it differently. Maybe all this while you're thinking that there is one way to do it. But don't forget that life is all about different approach. Yes, the mission is the same, but the approach can be different. Let me explain that. For example, transportation is a mission, but the method is different. Method can be car, can be by rail, can be by Uber, can be by any form, but it's still the same thing. It's still the idea of transportation, that something is getting me from here to there. So don't be hell-bent on saying, I want to try it one way and this is the only one way. The only way that I know that can be one way is that it is legal, and it is that it is not by shortcut. Those are the only two ways that I know that is sure, that is just one way. But in terms of method, you can always try a different approach. Again, for someone who feels like everything in their life is broken, trust me, I just wish that you can listen to my voice and listen to me and just trust me enough that all it takes for you is that willingness for you to just pick up the scraps one after the other. Pick it again, this one, I'm getting it back, and starting all over again. Oh yes, another word for someone, you feel like it is the end of the road for you. Trust me, you can always start again. You can always start again no matter where you are. It doesn't matter. So long as you are in that industry, whatever it is, you can always start again, right? So let's move on now. This one from Simon Sinek. He says, dream big, start small, but most of all, you just start. You just start. Do something. Do something. Whether it is starting small or starting big, just start. And I so much love this quote. It says, dream big, start small, but most of all, start, right? And this one, from Peter Marshall, he says, small deeds done are better than great deeds planned. So you can plan all you want. This is for the analyzers. You just plan and plan and plan and plan, but nothing has been set into motion. You've got to do something. You can't continue to analyze. You can't continue to give reasons why some things can't start. You just have to start anyway, right? Another one from Thomas Jefferson says, do you want to know who you are? Don't ask, act. Action will delineate and define you. And I said this yesterday also. That's how you can birth something in you when you take that next step. For someone who is like, man, I think I'm okay with my comfort zone. And I was explaining the other time that, you see, your comfort zone is hard because you will just find yourself in a circle, continuous cycle, and that's hard enough. But what would you rather have? That you can take that next step that will stretch you, and then there's something new that is born out of you. And you can find yourself out of a circle and get into a new dimension of your life. But start. Let's take this one. Tony Robbins says, the only impossible journey is the one you never began. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. So begin today. Do it now. And that's my word to you. Wherever you may find yourself right now, whatever particular junction you are right now, you can always start. And for someone, it is that you can always start again. And for someone, is that you can always pick up the scraps and the pieces again to start again. There is so much the world is waiting for through what you have in your hands. But we will never get to see what you have and what you are all about until you do something, until you take that next step, until you take action, until you do it now. And that's my message for you today. And thank you again for tuning in today on The Charge. It's always a pleasure knowing that you tune in today, and I'm super glad that you tune in. See you next time.